Hello everyone. So today let us talk about roadmaps. Now, whenever you're using Jira for planning across few months and you have multiple teams, let us say multiple projects, and that actually happens quite a lot when someone is trying to use Jira. They of course want to use the capabilities of the tool. I mean, when people are thinking of using a tool like Jira, they of course are interested in the customizations and of course various wonderful features of the tool. But at the same time, now, on Jira Cloud, we all know that Jira Cloud has different tiers. Now, the standard version of Jira will have a roadmap for each and every project. For example, if you look at this simple project, which is a Scrum-based project, there is a timeline view, and this timeline view is great. It is wonderful. But imagine that you have to plan the work across multiple projects, and those multiple projects, or let us say those epics in those multiple projects, are all contributing to one feature or maybe an initiative. And of course, I'm talking about the hierarchy in Jira. Now, of course, we all know that advanced roadmaps is there, but advanced roadmaps is basically with premium version. I don't know why advanced roadmap is only available in the premium version of Jira. I think it should be available for everyone because you have this structure in Jira, epic, story, subtask, and as I just mentioned, usually you want to plan across multiple projects and you may want to have different levels on top of your epic, and that is actually getting a lot more common these days because there are other tools that are doing something similar, if not the same. But of course, Jira has no match, and I think this feature should be there in Jira. Now, of course, when I work with my clients, as a consultant, my role as a consultant is to make them aware of what is possible with standard plan and what is not possible. But at the same time, we also try to find a workaround. Now, when you're doing something like this, where you have work that will span across multiple teams, multiple projects, and of course, you're talking about few months. Of course, roadmap view will not work because it is only going to show you the work from this project. Now, as a workaround, I'll try to give you a couple of workarounds, and you may or may not like it, but at least we have something, if not nothing. So if I go to dashboards, let us just go to one of the dashboard. Now, of course, on the dashboard, again, there is no roadmap kind of a view. Let me just create one. Let me just take a look at one dashboard. Let us take a look at software development. Okay, so this looks much better. And what I wanted to show you is basically this calendar view. Now search for calendar, Jira issue calendar, and add it on your dashboard and search for the filter. So create a filter that basically is across multiple projects. So I think I'll probably just use, do I have any filter? Let me just search for a filter. Okay, my issues in Jira. Okay, let me just create a filter very quickly. I'll just go to, I think I have a filter, but I don't really remember the name of the filter. So I'll basically create a filter here, which will show everything. So just search like thousands of issues, and I'll just save it and say all issues, right? And maybe while I'm doing it, maybe I just want to focus on due date, where due date is not, or some date, right? So basically some date which is not empty. And I will of course now talk about why I'm using this due date. So the idea here is that more than 1 minute ago overdue. Let us click on this, and we'll have like, I believe, some number of, okay, so we have 120 issues. That is good. I'll save it. I'll go back to my dashboard. I'll search for all issues. So basically what I'm doing here is, and again, it is not a roadmap, but just a workaround, like doing something using the native capabilities of the tool if you don't really have the advanced roadmaps. So what you can do, because when you're using advanced roadmap, you usually would have, or you may not have, basically all the issues with dates. But the whole idea of using advanced roadmap is to see something on a timeline, right? Where you have a start date or maybe an end date, which is, of course, it could be a due date. So let us say you have dates filled in when you're doing some planning across multiple projects. So you can natively create this this view on a calendar and using this due date field. So if you look at this particular report, okay, come on, I need to select here 20 per day. All right, so again, it's not a roadmap, but it is still not bad. I mean, imagine that you're a project manager and you want to see like visually something on a timeline or maybe calendar. So this is something that you can think of doing, where you have some information on your calendar. So this is again just one thing that you can do, and you can also take a look at the there is also this roadmap, Jira roadmap, which is actually based on your versions, right? So it is again not really super useful, but the thing is that if you're able to plot something on a timeline, then or a calendar, it gives you something. Now, apart from this, the other thing that you have, the other option that you have is obviously dump something in Excel. I know I always talk about don't use Excel with Jira. I mean, sometimes you have to, because if you don't really have anything else, or maybe build some automation to pull data from Jira. And my personal recommendation would be to, if you don't really want to spend money and purchase advanced road or premium for advanced roadmaps, you can always think of using EasyBI. So using EasyBI, what you can do, you can build this kind of a roadmap view. And this is something that I do quite a lot for my clients, because when you install EasyBI, you are able to do not just Gantt, it's not a Gantt chart like a typical Gantt chart. It's more about just something on a timeline based on any two dates. For example, you can create this drill down enable report. And when you create this report here, you're basically not only creating something on a timeline, but at the same time, you do have the ability here to look at some additional information. For example, you can see here that this epic start date is, or planned whatever date is 13th, and it is ending on this date. There are a number of items under it. The progress is 33%, and this progress could be based on what all is under it, or maybe at that particular issue type level. But you can build your own roadmap. That is what I'm trying to say here. And of course, with the help of EasyBI, you can do a lot more. If you need help with, first think about consider using EasyBI. And as a consultant, my job is not to sell or promote any specific tool or an app or maybe Jira itself, but my job is to help my clients, and of course you guys, if you're watching my videos, my job is to help you. My responsibility is to make you aware of the possibilities and workarounds. And whenever I talk about something which can be improved in Jira, people start complaining, and they say that I'm probably biased. Just to give you some background information, I've written books in Jira. I've been doing Jira consultation for 17, 18 years now. I have my YouTube channel where I have literally thousands of videos. I have a blog, and I have training courses. So if I'm talking about, if I'm being critical about something in Jira, for example, in this video, I'm saying that yes, advanced roadmaps should be there for everyone. Of course, I know Atlassian is interested in earning money. I understand it's a business, and they have of course salaries to pay. They have a company to run, and maybe they have their own reasons. But I think if you have advanced roadmaps capabilities, or maybe let us forget about advanced roadmaps because it has scenario. Just give us a timeline view with multiple projects. That is it. We don't really need scenarios and ability to create a plan or using those factors. Just a view where we can see something like following the hierarchy, and let us create this hierarchy. And yeah, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. All right, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and at the same time, if you want to stay in touch with me, I do a lot of things, by the way, around Atlassian tools. Just subscribe to my newsletter. If you go to ravisagar.in/newsletter, you will be able to, get updates from me. I don't really send a lot of emails, maybe a couple of emails in a month, but some important news or something significant that might be helpful to you. All right, that is it. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.